I have been waiting so long to make another classic video, another classic X's own fans turn on them video. And to be honest, it's been hard to find one. We finally found one, but I did not expect it was going to be this guy. So this is Kyle Rittenhouse. This came out of complete nowhere, by the way. Today he just kind of sends out this tweeter, I guess yesterday, and he's talking about this. Hey, this is all over the news now. So it appears that Kyle Rittenhouse has actually turned on Trump. So he was definitely allies with Trump, but I guess he decided to kind of come out randomly. I don't know why he decided to do this now instead of before. There had to be some kind of like a trigger or catalyst here, because all the stuff that he's citing Trump doing, it happened before all of this. So I don't know where this came. This came completely out of nowhere. But go ahead and check this video out. So he's going to come out against Trump. He's going to say he's going to write in Ron Paul on the grounds that he's not truly fully pro-Second Amendment and he is a one-issue voter. Check this out.
Hi, I'm Kyle Rittenhouse, Outreach Director for Texas Gun Rights. A lot of people are upset that I said I'm going to be writing in Ron Paul for President of the United States. And that is true. I will be writing in Ron Paul. Unfortunately, Donald Trump had bad advisors making him bad on the Second Amendment, and that is my issue. If you cannot be completely uncompromisable on the Second Amendment, I will not vote for you, and I will write somebody else in. We need champions for the Second Amendment, or our rights will be eaten away and eroded each day. I support my decision, and I have no takebacks.
Okay, so he's saying that, he's a one-issue voter. I personally think one-issue voters are stupid. His situation might be different because maybe to him, that's the only thing that matters because of his experience. But I think that one-issue voters are stupid because the president does so many things. You have to take into account all of the things. So for progressives, a lot of progressives would be like, oh, if you're bad on one issue, you're not progressive. In my opinion, if you're progressive on everything, I give you a pass on one issue. You can be shit on one issue. I give you one pass. And once you start getting two, it's getting questionable, and then once you're three, you're out. 3 strikes, you're out. But I would say 1, you get a pass. But I think that's a crazy mistake. But this sparks a really interesting question, which is how pro-gun actually is Donald Trump? Because Donald Trump is this really weird character where he doesn't have any opinions. He's a complete shapeshifter, right? He's a narcissist. He's somebody who's just all about himself. And so he'll support whatever side of the issue is going to give him power. So abortion, for example, he's able to do this weird shape-shifting thing where before he definitely didn't support abortion regulations because he wants to obviously be able to get abortions when he accidentally gets a woman pregnant, right? But then now he's, he can go hardcore on abortion in 2016. I don't know if he went super hardcore or not, actually. But now he's like kind of pulling a pump fake and saying, oh, well, hey, we can leave it up to the states because abortion is such a salient issue. You have to do that in order to be able to win. And so he's kind of pump faking on that. So he's able to do these kinds of weird things. And so the question kind of comes down to, well, how did actually Trump do? And so Kyle Rittenhouse actually retweeted this, is what we must hold all politicians to the same standards. Now, anytime you see something in meme format, it's usually poor information. But here's what this says. It says, Trump's record on the Second Amendment: banned bump stocks, signed fix NICS to expand prohibited persons faulty database, supported red flag gun confiscation, supported raising minimum age to purchase firearms, told British TV he was, quote, going to seriously look at banning suppressors, and ignored legislation to deregulate suppressors, supports TAPS Act, Big Brother social media monitoring of firearms statements, supported expanding background checks registration with Toomey Mansion, quipped about wanting to, quote, terminate parts of the Constitution, told Senator Feinstein to include assault weapons ban in school safety bill, and then take the guns first, go through due process second, President Donald Trump, 2818. So I looked up a couple of these things, and there did seem to be evidence for at least a couple of these. So Trump did actually ban bump stocks. He did actually come out in support of raising the minimum age to purchase firearms. And he did actually come out in favor of the red flag laws. I don't remember if red flag was after Uvalde or which one that was after. But he would pretty much kind of adopt these. He would say, oh, I support this, and then he would kind of back away. But I think he actually did ban bump stocks, but I think the Supreme Court overturned it on grounds of jurisdiction. Like, hey, you don't have the authority to do this. But so at least some of this is legitimate. And so it's pretty interesting because, yeah, that's definitely not somebody who you would say is like a full throttled supporter of the Second Amendment. And typically the Republican Party is super heavy on it, which again just goes to show the party doesn't have any actual principles. It instead just kind of has like this unwavering support for Trump no matter what position he takes. Even now that he's kind of saying leave abortion up to the states, it looks like Republicans don't give a shat. They don't care at all, which again goes to show how crazy the Republican Party now is. And I saw this like article on the Federalist Society's website, the Second Amendment grade for President Trump so far. Their conclusion is that final assessment more good than bad. In his first term, President Trump largely lived up to his promise to protect Americans' Second Amendment rights. There have been a few missteps along the way, but on the whole, the Trump administration has kept its word when it comes to our right to keep and bear arms. So I don't know like how accurate their assessment is going to be from their perspective, but it's pretty interesting to look at, I think, because they're kind of saying more good than bad. But he definitely has not been like a full throttle like crazy gun person at all. Definitely not. But he's gotten a ton of backlash for this. So this guy, Cat Turd, says, after what all the Trump and Trump supporters did for you, unfollowed and forgotten. This guy's a troll account, actually. That's a troll account that trolls being a Trump supporter. This guy says, you had no problem with Trump's Second Amendment record a year ago when you said this. Nothing has changed since then. It takes a scumbag to sell out, especially in a ridiculous, obvious way against those that supported you. So this is kind of true, I would say. Like, nothing has changed since then, so that is bizarre. It could be possible that he just came to like a realization, maybe some new information, maybe some pondering or thought process. Maybe he did sell out, I don't know. But that is a true statement, actually. Says, how much did you get paid to turn on Trump? Those are lies, Kyle, and you know it. You claim to be so concerned about politicians, the Second Amendment, you just posted a bunch of lies. But a bunch of the stuff on there is actually true, though, in that little that little graphic. You can look it up. Like, he did say he supported red flag laws. He did say supported minimum age of gun purchases up. He did ban bump stocks. So at least some of it is true. At very least. This literally confirms you are not taking things seriously on our liar. Just lost all respect for you. Hope the money is worth it. So a lot of people call him a sellout. Dumb kid, you are an idiot and you just lost all the support you ever had. You are a child and the country is in a fight for its life. And you write in a vote so you can help Kamala and those who persecuted you in. Without Trump, you would have been fried. You are a clown, kid. Idiotic, imbecilic. You've alienated every supporter who went to bat for you. Enjoy being a Marxist bitch. I hear it's the equivalent of the torture of the black plantation slaves who attempted to think for themselves. Keep grabbing them ankles. You nuked your entire name and platform before the age of 25. Impressive. Dumbass. There's just so much of these. How much did you get for your soul? Unfollowed. You suck. Ron Paul would be proud. This is a support one from a Libertarian account. You should be ashamed of yourself after everything we did for you. This is the thanks we get. Unfollowed and done with. There's also another big thing too, because a lot of people view shit as like, I guess, transactional. Like, hey, I supported you, so you have to support me. It's kind of like the weird Kanye thing where it's like, hey, I said one good thing in 2001 with the Bush doesn't care about black people. Now, anything I say, if you don't support me, you're a fraud, liberals, because you liked me when I said something you agreed with, and now you don't. It's like, dude, just because I agree with you on one thing doesn't mean I'm going to agree with you on everything else. It's stupid as fuck. You're the modern-day Benedict Arnold. This is actually insane, dude. You might as well vote for Kamala, see how that goes for the Second Amendment if Trump loses. I mean, I guess this one is like kind of like a support one as well. Now do Kamala's record, their choice is clear, write in as vote for Kamala. What I think that this showcases, though, is that people really don't care about issues in the Republican Party anymore, in my opinion. It really shows that it's all about it's a cult for Trump now. There is no actual issues they support, and that shows with abortion, too, because abortion now has gone to, hey, leave it up to the states. It's no longer a really hardcore issue anymore, either. So, honestly, I really do believe that this is kind of the direction the Republican Party has gone in, and so they're turning on him. But and he tweets this: "Bye forever. I can stomach a lot of things, but backstabbing millions who supported you at your lowest point, then turning on Trump right after you got shot, can't stomach it. Won't put up with it. Forgotten forever." He blocked him, which is a real cowardly, I thought. Trump stood by him for a moment when I don't understand some people genuinely. Kyle can go drink Bud Light at the Olympics. Unfollow and block that little weasel. Don't get distracted. Don't let him consume the oxygen or momentum. We have an election to win, a country to save, a president to return to the White House. Again, for them, it's heavily like kind of existential. It looks like in a way that's probably not validated. But yeah, so he's having just all these people turn on him. This is great, though. I mean, any possible votes that you could peel away from Trump, especially if that can impact any swing states, is great. So hopefully this movement starts to get more and more attention, because this is honestly just really good for the election. It also takes a little bit of the momentum away, which is why one of the people is just so afraid. As someone who helped platform him and promote him on here, I'm so disgusted. He couldn't even give a real reason for why he's voting for Trump, or a way in which Trump could still earn his vote. That's how you know he's the one with the bad advisors. An awful lot of people support led Kyle and took abuse from the left. He's a backstabbing piece of shit. Somehow he thinks he's the voice to all gun owners, disappointed in him. And so what I think is going to be interesting to see is he going to hold his ground? Because he's going to lose a lot of his money. I don't think the Libertarians alone are going to give him enough money. He needs conservatives' money. So it'll be interesting to see if he holds strong. If he holds strong, I'll have a certain level of respect for him because it takes a lot of power, strength, and really courage to be able to stand up to any kind of mob of any side. And he's being mobbed by the Republican mob right now. So we'll have to see how genuine he is in terms of can he hold his ground against this, because he's going to lose an insane amount of money source. And so it'll be fascinating to see if this happens, and hopefully this will be like a little blip in the radar, I'm sure, but hopefully it'll cover the news a little bit. It's in the news right now, so hopefully that's what kind of goes down. But yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse's own fans have turned on him because he's saying he's a one-issue Second Amendment voter, and I think Trump has definitely not been an unabashed Second Amendment supporter, but at least according to the Federalist Society article from them, they said, hey, he's largely good because he kind of would say he supported stuff but never supported official legislation, and then he would walk some of it back. The only thing I think he actually did was ban bump stocks. So I can see where he's coming from. But again, the Republican Party no longer cares about issues. They're not unabashed Second Amendment. They're not unabashed abortion. They're just not any of that stuff. They're the cult of Trump, and wherever Trump goes, they go. So pretty interesting stuff. Let me know your thoughts down below.